Mission Loudoun's KidsLife Online. Today, we're going to continue our series on life during the pandemic as we talk about boredom. Do you get bored? I bet you're getting bored a lot because you can't play with your friends and you can't go to school and all of the things that you're normally used to doing, they're out. You just can't do them. But you know what? Boredom is cool and you don't have to be bored all the time. We're going to talk about that today. Let's go ahead and read our book. Today's story is called The Boring Book by Shinsuke Yoshitake. I'm bored, so bored. My toys are boring. There's nothing to watch on TV. See how he's slipping off the chair. Mom, I'm bored. What do you want me to do about it? So boring. Wait, what makes things boring? Why am I bored? What does boring mean anyway? What if I were stuffed into a big donut? That sounds like fun. Roll, roll, roll. But after being in there for a while, I'd probably be bored. How much longer will I be in here? Maybe it's boring to stay in the same place. So what if I constantly changed how I sit? I'll try it. Rustle, 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 squiggle, rustle. Hey, this is kind of fun. Rustle, 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 but rustle, only kind of. Maybe it's fun to be unique. What's he doing? He's putting his shirt over his head. He's wearing it funny. He's pulling his pants way up. He's wearing a fish on his head. He's got boots on his hands. The more different, the more fun. Oh my goodness, look how different that is. You see that? That's pretty different, huh? A park like this looks fun. Whoa. But a park like this, with nothing on it at all, is boring. Maybe it's fun when things are crowded. Maybe it's boring when things have nothing to do with you. This grass is delicious. Oh, no, 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 no. Maybe it's boring when things don't go as planned. Does his unicorn look like a unicorn? Not so much. Ah, I see, a hippo. She didn't get it, did she? I wonder if a pill bug ever thinks I'm bored. How about a vending machine? Or a rock on the street? What about a straw wrapper? Or my teddy bear? Or an air conditioner? Or the shoes I never wear because they hurt my feet? I bet they get bored. Or the carrots I didn't eat because they were undercooked? Or a pencil that needed to be sharpened? Or a random component that fell off something? I wonder what the world's most boring amusement park is like. What do you think? Let's see. The Ferris wheel is low. The roller coaster is slow. Most of the rides are closed for repairs. The haunted house isn't scary. The games are too easy. The drinks are lukewarm. The characters are tired. Today's apology. Sorry. No way. That would be awful. I'd never go to an amusement park like that. But wait, how strange. It's actually fun to think about boring things. I mean, they're boring, but they're also fun. Weird. Can everything in the world be divided into fun and boring? This is fun. This is boring. Huh? Do they both think a different thing about the same thing? Sometimes I'm not bored or having fun. I'm actually not thinking about anything at all. Like when I'm changing my clothes, or when I'm in the bathroom, or when I'm brushing my teeth, or when I'm waiting for the light to change. I wouldn't say that doing those things is fun, but it isn't boring either. I wonder if there's a word for that experience. Like when I'm peeling a hard-boiled egg, or when I wake up earlier than usual, or when I'm riding the bus. Sometimes that's boring, sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not either. Who came up with the word boring anyway? See, they have all sorts of different ideas. Boring, bearing, burring, boring. Was that person bored? Is it fun when 300 bored people get together? Or is it 300 times more boring? Whoa, that's a lot of bored people. Lot of bored people. I wonder what the most boring age in a person's life is. Grandpa, what was the most boring thing that ever happened to you? Grandpa was having a lot of fun talking about his past boring experiences. Maybe boring things turn into fun things after a while. I wonder if some people look like they're having fun, but they're actually bored. Or if some people look bored, but they're actually having fun. What do adults do when they're bored? Adult land. Is there a secret to fun that they keep from kids? There's not. Hey, Dad, is being an adult fun? Huh? Yeah, it is. Really? Well, sure, it can be. It can be boring sometimes. But no matter how bored you are, it's up to you to make things fun. That's the secret. There's nothing happening here. So I drew a maze. Do you see his amazing maze? And because you get bored sometimes, the fun experiences are even more exciting, right? I guess so, but I've heard that before, so it's boring. Oh my goodness. The boring book. Well, I like that last little bit. If something is boring, it's up to you to make it fun. What can we do to make things fun? Let's think. That was a kind of funny story, huh? The kid realized that boredom lets you be creative and you can do all sorts of things. But he also realized that parents tell you not to be bored a lot, huh? In the Bible, it says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might. That's in Ecclesiastes 9:10. So when you're bored, you got to find something to do, right? It can actually be pretty cool to be bored because you can be creative. You know someone else who was stuck inside for a really long time? Noah. Do you remember Noah's story? What happened to Noah? Noah built a big boat, right? So it starts with a world where all around Noah, there were people making horrible decisions, doing bad things that make God really sad. So God decided to destroy the people and start all over. But there was Noah and his family, and they loved God and tried to obey him. So God told Noah to build an ark, a really big ship, to save those who trusted God. But he was the only one who believed, since he was building a huge boat in the desert. And Noah worked so hard, and everyone just laughed at him. And he gathered 2 of every animal, or 7 of the animals that they could eat. And the day came when it started to rain. And Noah and his family went into the ark and shut the door. And man, did it rain. They were stuck in there for 40 days of rain. Can you imagine not getting to leave your house for 40 days? I bet you can, since the current lockdown means that a lot of kids have been stuck in their house for days and days and days. 40 of them even. Well, so what did Noah do in the ark? It doesn't say. But you know what? After the rain stopped, they still didn't get to leave because the water was covering the land. The flood lasted for 150 days. That's like 5 months. And Noah sent out a raven and a dove to see if there was any land anywhere. And they came back empty. And finally, the bird came back with a tree branch in its claws. And that showed that there were trees popping out of the water. The flood was finally going back down. So Noah comes out of the ark. And you know what the first thing he does is? He praises God and makes a sacrifice to say, thank you for taking care of my family. And God put a rainbow in the sky as a promise that he would never flood the world and destroy all the people and animals like that again. Pretty cool story, huh? So let's go back. What do you think they did in the ark? They didn't have TV, and they didn't have Nintendo Switch or PlayStation or Xbox. How did they deal with being bored? What do you think? What are your ideas? Well, okay, for one thing, they weren't all bored all the time. They had lots and lots of chores to take care of because there were lots of animals to feed and deal with. And I bet there are lots of things you could do around the house to help out your parents. Pick up toys, maybe vacuum, help set the table. What else did Noah and his family do? I bet they enjoyed the time to spend with God. It doesn't say what they did in the Bible, but because the very first thing Noah did when he left the ark was to make a sacrifice to God, I would guess that he was praying a lot and he was talking to God every day in the ark. Sometimes boredom can be a good thing because it gives you time to spend with God and with yourself. It'll give you a chance to let your mind think and be creative and let God get in there and talk to you. What else can you do when you're bored? What do you do when you're bored other than going up to your parents and saying, I'm bored? So you can do your chores and take care of the house or the animals in your house. You can spend time just thinking and being creative. You can spend time reading a Bible or being with God. And you can also let your mind think about possible things that you enjoy doing and that you could do during this free time. So our craft today is going to be making a board jar. What you do is you take any jar that you have and you're going to put paper around it and tape it. So my jar happens to be just the right size. This is a jar not made out of wooden boards for a board jar, but a jar of things that you can do when you're bored. You can take a bunch of craft sticks and either color them or decorate one end, and on the other end, write neatly an idea for something to do. On the website, I've included a list of ideas for things to do when you're bored. And you can be creative. Don't just use my ideas. There are so many possibilities. And then what you do is you put your craft sticks into your jar, and if you're bored, you pick one out. And the best part is, if you don't like it, you can pick a different one. I hope you've enjoyed our look at Noah and our cures for being bored during the lockdown. I look forward to seeing you next week on Kids Life Online.